Hello, welcome to Watch with Ray with me, Ray. This is one of our offshoots from B3 from Booze, Booze, and Blood podcast, is where we review upcoming new movies. We were lucky enough to be granted a screener for an upcoming release that will be available by digital download as of May 28th, so Tuesday, this coming Tuesday, from Sunrise. I had it written down. Sunrise Films and Vertigo releasing. It is called The Girl in the Trunk. And so I thought I would, give you a little bit of plot, not too much because I don't want to spoil it, and I will recommend it, so I don't want to spoil too much. And then I'll give you my little review of it, okay? So first, let me just tell you what their synopsis is. I'm going to add a couple pieces in. Strap in and let the enigmatic thriller take you for a ride. Starring Casper Philipson and Katharina Sporer, written directed by Jonas Kvist Jensen, this tight, tense thriller will leave you on the edge of your seat. A woman finds herself kidnapped and trapped in the enclosed space of a speeding car's trunk, wearing her wedding dress and with her phone as the only available tool. The situation deteriorates gradually as a failed escape attempt costs the life of innocent bystander. When the clock ticking towards a slow death from heat exhaustion in the Texas desert leaks, a psychotic kidnapper at the wheel, Amanda is forced to make her own luck in the end. A dangerous game of questions and deadly consequences to be played over the phone with the mysterious kidnapper seems the only way to maybe discover his true identity, getting help, or simply fighting her painful way towards a fleeting chance of escape. Now, I'm kind of bummed that they told you that it's her wedding dress. You kind of assume, but it's not actually verified until about 40% through that this is her wedding day. So, one thing I will say, is I love how it starts. It's so cool. So the movie opens and you just see this blank, it's just a rental car. It would have been a rental car agency and in a parking garage. So if you've been on an airport, I know for a fact, in Colorado, the Denver airport has an Enterprise that's in the airport parking garage. So it's enclosed. So that's sort of the same thing. This car drives into frame, and all you are seeing is from underneath the car. So you're seeing underneath the car, and two shoes get out. A person gets out, what we assume is a woman in white shoes and a white dress, and she's, no one seems to be around, and she's supposed to be able to just drop this car off anytime. It's supposed to be open 24/7. So she's going up to the windows, and we just see her feet. And she's, 24 hours my ass, that sort of thing. And as we're kind of distracted by her going up to the front of the rental car agency, another set of feet are on the other side of the car, and they're boots with jeans. So we assume this is a male. And this person gets into the back seat. Well, she doesn't notice that they've gotten to the back seat. She gets back in her car, and then suddenly there is a bit of a scuffle in the car. We don't hear anything. She doesn't make any sounds, but you can hear that there's a scuffle, and the car is moving back and forth. And then smash cut, title. I thought that was an amazing, especially since we're only seeing it from underneath the car, is so cool. I was waiting for somebody to drop underneath the car, a la Cape Fear or something. So that was pretty cool. I don't know if there's really else. I don't want to give too much away. I think that honestly, just that one little bit is fine. I don't think the synopsis gave too much away, but it's one of those movies that starts to it really, unravels pretty quickly, but you get piece by piece by piece. So I think that's enough. I think it's enough to get you in to entice you in, to definitely get you excited to watch it. So how we do things when we do movie reviews, we for of upcoming films, we do compliment sandwich. So we like to top bun is something we liked about the movie. The meat or the middle is something we didn't like as much, and then we like to end on a high note, and we like to give something else that we liked. For this, I will say the claustrophobia works quite a bit. I will say that the acting is great. One thing I will say is your ears are not deceiving you. I'm almost positive, and I have to look into the background of the film, but when I was looking into even just Rotten Tomatoes, I wanted to see what, if there were critics' reviews out yet. It is a Danish film, and I'm pretty sure it was dubbed in English. Because at one point we're seeing two people speak to each other, and it matches, just it sounds different. It sounds like it's in a studio, so it sounds ADR'd. So there's a little bit of a disconnect. It kind of works, honestly. It kind of works, but it almost seems like some of it was kind of translated to English. But it doesn't take it away. It doesn't take anything away from the film. There are a number of scenes that I was terrified. We will get to that because we'll get there. But I will say, for what money, I don't know what the budget was for this. I will say they did a dang good job for the amount of money that was put into it. It's a small cast. We're talking 5 on-screen characters. The villain is great. I thought he was charismatic. I don't know this actor. Casper Philipson. Again, I think he might be Danish, so he's good looking. He was in Jackie. He played Kennedy in Jackie, so he must be American. No, he's from Denmark. He's Danish. He also looks like Kennedy. Yep. Yeah, I thought he was great, but it seems like it was definitely his voice sounded ADR'd. It sounded like they dubbed it over. So I think what happened is they filmed it in Danish first, and then they did the English dub, which is completely fine, because it works. But just don't be whoa. Maybe it'll feel funky when you first see it. You're wait, what's happening with the sound? But I think let it work for you. I think it'll work for you. But I think that they did a really good job with what little money they probably had for it. I will say the acting's good. The directing is pretty great for, again, a very enclosed space. Very little to work with, as opposed to there's not much that's happening that's it's a very simple plot, and for as many times as I was what the fuck is happening, I give it I give it 2 thumbs for that, because I'm there's a scene in particular that I was freaking out. So I would say they did a good job with limited budget. Meat, for me, something I didn't like as much. That being said, about this scene in particular, there's a scene that scared the shit out of me. The CGI isn't awful. It's not sci-fi levels, sci-fi levels of CGI. This is I could tell it was CGI. But I could also tell, in particular, I'm talking about the scene with the scorpion. And I'm not going to say what happens with it, just be I would imagine for several reasons they didn't want to use a live scorpion. And totally get it. The other thing is, I think I could have used a little bit more, because I'm pretty sure this was R. Or it might be unrated, because it might be unrated. I think it's unrated. I could have used a little bit more gore, a little bit more. There's maybe 1, maybe 2. I think there's only 1 kill in this. I think I could have used a little bit more blood in that kill. So that's pretty much like what money was used. I think could have been used to like just to make it a little bit more, you know. I did have a couple moments where I gasped, but I would have liked a little bit more, like just a little bit more gore. But that's me, because, Dead Alive is one of my favorite movies. And then to wrap it up, something else I liked about the movie, I will say, I think that the ending, I can't still tell you what exactly. It'll leave you guessing. I think the ending will leave you guessing, and I like it. I like that it is kind of like, So that's where I'm going to go with that. I think it's a well plotted. Sorry, my dogs are fighting. I think it's a well plotted suspense thriller where it unravels slowly. Well, actually quickly, because we are wrapped up in an hour and 29. I like that. So if I had to give this an overall like alpha grade, I would say I would give this a straight on B. This is a B movie. This is like one of those ones like, no one's gonna win an Oscar for it, but I think that like if you want something interesting to watch tonight, that'll like kind of like leave you like, ooh, this is definitely a good one. This is a good one to watch. Again, this comes out streaming direct download as of the 28th. I say, honestly, like it's up there as a really good thriller, I think. Yeah. So, you can find it from Vertigo Releasing, like I mentioned, and I will link to where you can download it in the description. If you like this and you like all of, you like what you've heard and you're, want to follow us, please do like and subscribe. We have a weekly podcast that we release. Usually we break down horror franchises, one movie at a time. We just finished our second Hitchcock month. We are going through all of Hitch's, horror adjacent movies, so we won't be covering a lot, some of them, but the horror ones or like thriller ones we will. So this was our second month, and we covered Rebecca, The Lady Vanishes, Jamaica Inn, and I can't remember the last one. How about Suspicion? So if you, again, follow us on Spotify, you can find us wherever podcasts or wherever you listen to podcasts. You can find us a whole bunch of different places. Again, like and subscribe. And keep it spooky.